Chapter 448 Chapter 448, This must be a test given by Master, 1. Chapter 448, This must be a test given by Master, 1. Tianyuan Continent, Xiao Changtian's courtyard. Standing in front of Xiao Changtian, Fuqian was stunned when he heard Xiao Changtian's words. Master? Didn't he already have a master? Could it be that his master despised his talent and wanted to expel him from the sect? With that thought in mind, Fuqian quickly walked up to Xiao Changtian. He hugged Xiao Changtian's arms and said slowly, Master, I don't want you to find a master. I still want to learn from you. Xiao Changtian was putting his sword into the bamboo basket. Seeing Fuqian like this, he felt a little uncomfortable. During this period of time in the courtyard, he had more or less developed feelings for these disciples. Thinking about how Fuqian was going to leave her, she still felt a little reluctant. However, in the cultivation world, the strong were respected. He was just a small mortal. And Fuqian had such good talent. If she delayed his cultivation, he would be able to cultivate. He also felt very uncomfortable in his heart. Thinking so, Xiao Changtian patted Fuqian's shoulder. Fuqian, as long as you want, I will always be your master. This small courtyard will always welcome you. It's just that your talent is not bad. This trip to the Li Fire sect is for your own good. It's said that the Li Fire sect's ancestor's strength has reached the God Monarch realm. He's also a powerful cultivator in the cultivation world. If you follow him, your future will be limitless. Hearing Xiao Changtian's sincere words, Fu Tian was a little stunned. Divine Lord? What was that? He could kill a bunch of them with a clap of his hands, alright? How could his master let him take such trash as his master? Moreover, with his master's relationship, even if he wanted to find a sect for him, he would not find a sect like the Li Fire sect. Could this be a test given by his master? Fuqian suddenly thought of a possibility. It was a test given to him by Xiao Changtian. All along, although he had some experience cultivating the Book of Man, he was stuck in this realm. When Li Taibai went out with his master a while ago, his master also guided him in his cultivation. This time, his master might be testing him by asking him to take him as a master. By the way, give yourself some guidance. With this thought in mind, Fuqian slowly said to Xiao Changtian, Master, I'm willing to follow you. Looking at Fuqian, Xiao Changtian nodded. This Fuqian could be considered to have understood his painstaking efforts. At this moment, Xiao Changtian saw the bamboo basket that had almost been packed. It contained all kinds of weapons that he had forged over the years. Carrying the bamboo basket on his back, Xiao Changtian said to Fuqian, If you have nothing else to do, let's set off now. He and Fuqian were both mortals, yet they had to go to someone else's place to become their master. Naturally, he had to go early to leave a good impression. Hearing Xiao Changtian's words, Fuqian nodded. Then Xiao Changtian also saw the divine beast in the courtyard and carried the ant and the white tiger in his arms. And the little carp in the pond. Xiao Changtian held a water tank in his hand and placed the small carp inside. Then he brought Fuqian out of the ancestral hall. As soon as Xiao Changtian and Fuqian left the courtyard, they saw the Great Sun Reverend standing at the door with a group of cultivators from the Tianyuan continent. Senior, they are all here to send you off. When the Great Sun Immortal saw Xiao Changtian carrying a bamboo basket and bringing Fuqian out, he walked up slowly and said to him. Xiao Changtian looked at the Great Sun Immortal beside him and then at the group of people. He said to them slowly, Thank you, everyone. These were all unranked cultivators. Now that they knew that they were going to bring their disciples to join an impressive sect. Naturally, he came over to congratulate her. The cultivators of the Tianyuan continent smiled at Xiao Changtian when they heard his words. We wish Senior success. After the Great Sun Immortal returned, these people heard that Xiao Changtian was going to take action personally. He also knew that this matter was not that simple. Even with Senior's strength, he had to go out personally. If they were to go, they would definitely not be able to come back. Therefore, these people looked at Xiao Changtian with gratitude. Then Xiao Changtian waved his hand at the crowd. Alright, we'll be leaving first. Looking at the scene in front of him, Xiao Changtian felt a little helpless. Those who didn't know would think that they would never see their disciple again. As Xiao Changtian's voice faded, the chaos ant on his shoulder slowly extended its two antennae. Whoosh! A silver-white light enveloped Xiao Changtian and Fuqian. Then Xiao Changtian and Fuqian disappeared from everyone's sight. Seeing Xiao Changtian disappear into thin air in front of him, the Great Sun Immortal's eyes were filled with envy. When would he be able to achieve the ability to transfer space? After Xiao Changtian left, the cultivators of the Tianyuan continent began to whisper among themselves. Fortunately, Senior personally took action. Otherwise we would not know how to deal with this divine realm. That's right. I was wondering why those fellows in the divine realm would be so kind as to let our disciples become their disciples. It's obvious that there's some trick. Senior has seen through it. It's great that we have seniors on the Tianyuan continent. On the other side, Xiao Changtian and Fuqian also arrived in the divine realm under the cover of the spatial power of the Chaos Ant. Xiao Changtian and Fuqian landed on the ground, looking at the unfamiliar surroundings. This was a town with high temperatures everywhere. Almost all the men in the town were topless as they walked on the streets. At this moment, Xiao Changtian saw a huge round plate beside him. Is this the legendary formation? Xiao Changtian looked at the huge round plate beside him. There were some patterns on it. On the lines, rays of light rose. In the cultivation world, Xiao Changtian had heard of the arrays that cultivators built. However, this was the first time Xiao Changtian had seen a formation at such a close distance. Observing the unfamiliar environment, Xiao Changtian finally understood. It must have been perfected Great Sun who used his great magic power to help him and Fuqian reach the Li Fire clan's territory quickly. That's right. If he were to walk to a cultivation sect alone, the journey would definitely be long. With the help of the Great Sun Immortal, he would naturally be much faster. The Immortal De Yang was really thoughtful. At this moment, a guard in a red robe walked toward Xiao Changtian. You two, what are you here for? The guard looked at Xiao Changtian and Fuqian with a spear in his hand. He saw Xiao Changtian and Fuqian from when they were here. He looked here and there. He looked like a spy. Chapter 449. Chapter 449. Wrong, are you apologizing to me? L. Chapter 449. Wrong, are you apologizing to me? L. Divine Realm, Lifire Town. The formation guard stood between Xiao Changtian and Fuqian. He looked at them with disdain and hostility. Hearing the guard's tone, a look of displeasure appeared on Fuqian's face. If a guard had spoken to him in such an interrogative tone, he would have been able to do it. He might not pay attention to him either. However, Xiao Changtian was different here. What kind of figure was his master? What was wrong with him standing here? With this thought in mind, Fuqian also stepped forward and said slowly to the guard. I'm standing here with master. What's wrong? When the matrix guard heard Fuqian's words, he also aimed his spear at Fuqian. Brat, how can you say that? We are the Li Fire sect's array guards. This place is Li Fire City. If you obediently tell us your origins, we can spare you from the pain of physical torture. Xiao Changtian looked around and heard the guards talking about the Li Fire sect. He quickly walked over and slowly said to Fuqian. Fuqian, don't do anything rash. Looking at the way Fuqian and the Li Fire clan guards were shooting their arrows, Xiao Changtian felt a headache coming on. Why did Fuqian want to fight with them before he even became their disciple? Everyone, it's all a misunderstanding, a misunderstanding. At this moment, Xiao Changtian explained to the formation guard. We were invited by your Li Fire sect to come to your sect. Master, look at them. Why are you talking nonsense with them? Seeing how the matrix guard actually dared to point his spear at Xiao Changtian, Fuqian was also furious. If Xiao Changtian wasn't there, they would have been dead by now. The formation guard heard Fuqian's words and looked at Xiao Changtian. The aura on his body turned out to be that of a mortal. Then he mocked Xiao and Fuqian. I was wondering who they were. So they're two mortals who don't know the immensity of heaven and earth. They casually got an invitation and wanted to sneak into our Li Fire sect. I'm telling you, don't even think about it. Here, these guards had seen many mortals who wanted to infiltrate the Li Fire sect. Therefore, he said slowly after sensing that Xiao Changtian had no aura. When Xiao Changtian heard the guard's words, Xen Lu's anger rose. He was talking nicely to them, but this guard was acting arrogantly. It seemed that what he had heard was right. In the cultivation world, there were very few immortal cultivators as good as the Great Sun Immortal. Then Xiao Changtian left with Fuqian. If he allowed Fuqian to join such a sect, he would not be at ease. At this moment, the array lit up. Then, a woman in a red dress with two ponytails walked out of the array. As soon as the woman appeared, the array guards bowed respectfully to her. Saintess. It was the holy maiden of the Li Fire sect, Huoling Er. Huoling Er looked around as soon as she appeared. Then he slowly walked toward Xiao Changtian and Fu Tian. Seeing the red invitation in Xiao Changtian's hand, his face lit up. "You're the hot shot of the lower realm, right? Please follow me." Huoling spoke in an overbearing manner. On the contrary, Huoling words carried a trace of joy. In the past few days, the hot shots of the lower realm had almost become the most popular in the entire divine world. Every time a hot shot of the lower realm was discovered, several factions would go and compete for it. Their Li Fire sect naturally went everywhere to fight for it. Originally, they did not have any illusions about the method of sending out invitations. He did not expect Huoling who was cultivating in the Li Fire sect, to still sense the aura of his invitation card in his Li Fire formation. Only then did he rush over in a hurry. They were afraid that if they were a little late, the hot shots of the lower world would run away. Xiao Changtian shook his head when he heard Huoling words. "A cultivation sect like your Li Fire sect is something that mortals like us can't reach." Thinking of the array guard's attitude, Xiao Changtian had a bad impression of the Li Fire sect in his heart. Mortals. Huoling was stunned when she heard Xiao Changtian's words. The fact that this invitation card had brought them here meant that there were indeed hot shots from the lower realm among them. Otherwise, it would be impossible for him to come here. However, Huoling did not think too much about this matter. Instead, her face turned cold and she slowly said to the guard behind her, "What happened?" Hearing Huoling cold words, the formation guards felt a chill in their hearts. Guarding the array was a lucrative job for them. If they lost it here, they would not know what to do in the future. Thinking of this, the formation guards explained to Huoling, "Holy Maiden, we didn't know that these two were honored guests of the sect. We were wrong." From the conversation between Huoling and Xiao Changtian, they knew. Xiao Changtian and Fu Tian were probably guests invited by the sect. Huoling saw their reactions and said slowly to them, "Wrong. Are you apologizing to me?" When the formation guards heard Huoling words, they scrambled to Xiao Changtian's side. "Senior, we were blind just now. Please forgive us." "Yes, Senior, we know we were wrong." Xiao Changtian looked at the people at his feet, and his expression softened a little. These guards of the Li Fire sect did not look like much, but their chief seemed to be quite good. At this moment, Huoling walked up to Xiao Changtian and Fu Tian. "The two of you, these servants are insensible. Please forgive them. Please come to the Li Fire sect for a chat." Huoling's sweet voice was heard, and Xiao Changtian also sighed. "Fine, Fu Tian, let's go and take a look." The girl in charge seemed to be quite good, and the cultivator had also apologized to him. As a mortal, he had to give face to others, right? Moreover, Fu Tian's talent could not be wasted. Hearing Xiao Changtian's words, Fu Tian naturally had no objections. When Huoling heard that Xiao Changtian and Fu Tian were willing to come to her Li Fire sect, she heaved a sigh of relief. He glared at the array guards. She also knew that after today these guards would be replaced. Soon Xiao Changtian and Fu Tian arrived at the Li Fire sect under Huoling's lead. In a small loft, a Manchu Han imperial feast was placed on a table. There were all kinds of delicacies. Xiao Changtian and Fu Tian were led here by a servant girl from the Li Fire clan. "The two of you, the Holy Maiden, will be here soon. Have a seat first." Xiao Changtian nodded in agreement. Following that, he looked down from the pavilion and saw the entire Li Fire sect's buildings. The place where cultivators lived was truly magnificent. At this moment, Huoling also slowly came to the attic. Seeing Xiao Changtian and Fu Tian, he said to them slowly, "The two of you sit down and talk while eating." Hearing Huoling's sweet voice, Xiao Changtian and Fu Tian sat down with her. Chapter 450. That person was not a mortal at all, 1. Chapter 450. That person was not a mortal at all, 1. Divine World, Li Fire Sect, Small Pavilion. Xiao Changtian, Fu Tian and Huoling sat at the table. Huoling looked at Xiao Changtian and Fu Tian and gradually understood why Xiao Changtian had called himself a mortal. Fu Tian's aura carried the aura of a king, the aura of an emperor. In Huoling's eyes, Fu Tian was undoubtedly the hot shot of the Tianyuan continent. However, Xiao Changtian didn't have any aura on him. He should be just like what he said, a mortal. However, from the looks of it, this hot shot from the lower realm had a good relationship with this mortal. Sitting at the table, Huoling said to Xiao Changtian and the others, "I still don't know your names." Hearing Huoling's words, Fu Tian slowly responded to her. "I am Fu Tian and this is my master." You are not qualified to know my master's name. Xiao Changtian smiled at Huo Ling when he heard Fu Qian's words. This Fu Qian was too arrogant. Fortunately, the lady didn't look angry at all. Huo Ling smiled faintly when she heard Fu Qian's words. All right then, young friend Fu Qian, let's be frank. This time, we have invited the two of you to help our Li Fire sect take the test at the Drunken Immortal restaurant. As long as you pass the test, then little friend Fu Qian will be an inner sect disciple of our Li Fire sect. Huo Ling's sweet voice entered Xiao Changtian and Fu Qian's ears. When Fu Qian heard Huo Ling's words, he didn't respond and continued eating. Xiao Changtian was delighted when he heard Huo Ling's words. It turned out that he still had to pass the test. With Fu Qian's talent, it should not be a problem for him to pass. Thinking of this, Xiao Changtian said to Huo Ling and Fu Qian, in that case, let's go to the Drunken Immortal restaurant after dinner. As Xiao Changtian finished speaking, Fu Qian also said slowly, I'll listen to Master. Huo Ling saw Fu Qian's reaction and said slowly, then I'll be waiting to see little friend Fu Qian's performance. The test of the Drunken Immortal restaurant was coming soon. Huo Ling naturally hoped that it would be as soon as possible. Then Huo Ling clapped her hands and a maid walked in. Inform the people in the clan to prepare a carriage. I want to go to the Drunken Immortal restaurant with little friend Fu Qian and the others. The maid nodded respectfully when she heard Huo Ling's words. Then he left. After the meal, Xiao Changtian and Fu Qian followed Huo Ling into the Leak Fire clan's carriage. Let's go. Huo Ling's voice came out of the carriage. The Li Fire sect cultivators on the carriage also brought Huo Ling and the others slowly toward the Drunken Immortal restaurant. On the carriage, Xiao Changtian said to Huo Ling slowly, Miss Ling I wonder how difficult the test of this Drunken Immortal restaurant is. Since he was going to the Drunken Immortal restaurant to accept the test, Xiao Changtian wanted to understand more about it first. Huo Ling heard Xiao Changtian's words and glanced at Fu Qian. There are hot shots from various lower realms participating in the Drunken Immortal restaurant's test this time. Those hot shots are not weak either. Hearing Huo Ling's words, Xiao Changtian also understood that there were quite a lot of competitors for Fu Qian in this test. Moreover, they all seemed to be hot shots. In that case, it would not be easy for them to go to the place. Meow, meow, meow. At this moment, the white tiger also slowly ran out from the side and came into Xiao Changtian's arms. Xiao Changtian saw the white tiger return to his arms and stroked its back. Where did you go just now? Don't run around. This was the cultivation world. Who would he ask for it from? Huo Ling was surprised to see the cat in Xiao Changtian's hand. With her strength, she actually did not notice when a white cat had appeared on the carriage. Then Huo Ling looked at the white tiger in Xiao Changtian's hand. As if it had sensed Huo Ling's gaze, the white tiger also glanced over when Huo Ling was examining it. Then in Huo Ling's mind, a huge white tiger stood in the air. Roar. In his mind, the white tiger roared at Huo Ling. Suddenly Huo Ling seemed to have been hit by something. The true essence in her body rolled and then she sat on the ground. Then the white tiger's voice slowly entered her ears. Be more respectful to Master, understand? Huo Ling was stunned when she heard the white tiger's words. Master? Could it be the mortal in the carriage? The white tiger was in his arms just now. Wait, Huo Ling realized that she had made a serious mistake. That person was not an ordinary person at all. He was also a reclusive expert. Moreover, to be able to become the master of the white tiger, his strength must have reached an extremely terrifying level. It must be a few realms higher than him that he couldn't detect his aura. Thinking of this, Huo Ling broke out in cold sweat. Fortunately, when he first met that senior, he did not show any ill intentions. Otherwise, he would bring disaster to the Li Fire sect. He did not know why this lord had brought his disciple to his Li Fire sect. Huo Ling quickly said to the white tiger in front of her. Senior White Tiger, this junior will remember this. If I find out that you disrespected Master, what will happen to you? As it spoke, the white tiger raised its sharp claws and swung them at the space in front of it. Bang! Wherever the white tiger's claws passed, the space collapsed. An indescribable terrifying aura was emitted from the white tiger's body. Huo Ling swallowed her saliva when she saw the power of the white tiger. Senior White Tiger, you can rest assured that I will never disrespect you. At this moment, Huo Ling's words were extremely respectful. If that attack had landed on the Li Fire sect, the entire Li Fire sect would probably have been destroyed. After Huo Ling finished speaking, she felt the world spin. Then Hualing realized that she had recovered from her mind. Looking at the white tiger in Xiao Changtian's hand, his eyes were filled with respect. At this moment Xiao Changtian sighed. Hearing Xiao Changtian's sigh, Hualing did not dare to be negligent. At this moment, how could she not know that Xiao Changtian was a peerless expert? He must have used the white tiger to suppress him just now. Then Hualing's sweet voice slowly entered Xiao Changtian's ears. "Senior, why are you sighing?" As she spoke, Hualing took out a pot of water and handed it to Xiao Changtian. Chapter 451 Chapter 451, As Worthy of a Sect with a Divine Lord, 1. Chapter 451, As Worthy of a Sect with a Divine Lord, 1. Divine Realm Hualing's Carriage. Xiao Changtian looked at the water bottle that Hualing handed over and slowly took it. Seeing Hualing's expression, Xiao Changtian didn't know why, but he felt that Hualing had changed a lot. Then Xiao Changtian slowly said to Hualing, "This drunken immortal has sent so many geniuses to take the test. I wonder what kind of results Fuqian can achieve?" When Fuqian heard Xiao Changtian's words, he understood something. Listening to his master's words, could it be that his master's test for him was in that drunken immortal restaurant? Then he had to perform well. With this thought in mind, Fuqian said to Xiao Changtian slowly, "Don't worry, master. I'll definitely take the lead in that drunken immortal restaurant." Hearing Fuqian's words, Xiao Changtian also glanced at him. It was a good thing that Fuqian was confident, but as his master he was not confident. However, she had never taught him any spirit skills or cultivation methods. If the other hot shots joined some cultivation sections, if he mastered some spirit skills and techniques, wouldn't Fuqian suffer a huge loss? At this moment, Xiao Changtian also said to Hualing, "Miss Hualing, what do you think?" Hualing took a deep breath after hearing Xiao Changtian's words. He looked at Fuqian. If Fuqian had said that he wanted to get first place, then he would have been the one to win. Hualing naturally did not believe it at all. She thought that the hot shots from the lower realm were not afraid of tigers. However, after witnessing the white tiger's strength and Xiao Changtian's immeasurable strength, he was shocked. Hualing felt that what Fuqian had said just now was not bragging. It seemed that he really had the ability to take the top spot in the drunken immortal restaurant. Hualing responded to Xiao Changtian slowly. "Senior, I feel that little friend Fuqian will definitely be able to come out on top. If Fuqian could get the first place, then for their Li Fire clan, it would be a huge loss." The benefits were naturally countless. It was possible for them to directly advance to a first-rate faction in the Divine Realm. There was even a chance to reach the legendary heavens beyond. At least, that was what the Golden Emperor had told the Heavenly Gates a few days ago. Hualing was excited as she thought about this. However, she could not figure it out no matter how hard she thought. How could a figure like Xiao Changtian come to a small sect like their Li Fire sect? Xiao Changtian's eyes lit up when he heard Hualing's words. The holy maiden of the Li Fire sect also seemed to think very highly of Fuqian. Logically speaking, as the holy maiden, she had no reason to side with him. Since that was the case, it seemed that Fuqian's talent was indeed very good. Even the holy virgin of the Li Fire sect thought so highly of him. With this thought in mind, Xiao Changtian felt that the possibility of Fuqian joining the Li Fire sect had greatly increased. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. At this moment, the carriage suddenly shook violently. What happened? Hualing felt the change in the carriage and shouted to the outside. There was a senior sitting in this car. If she destroyed the Li Fire sect with a single move, she would be the sinner of the Li Fire sect. "Saintess, there's an enemy attack." Ah! The voice of a Li Fire sect disciple came from outside. Following that, the Li Fire sect disciple let out a miserable cry and fell to the ground. "Master, I'll go out and take a look." At this moment, Fuqian followed Hualing out. He wanted to see who was outside that actually dared to stop his master's carriage. Xiao Changtian wanted to stop Fuqian when he saw him leave. But after thinking about it, he decided against it. Without a doubt, those who attacked the Li Fire sect's carriage were definitely cultivators. As for the reason, he, a mortal, could not interfere. Let Holy Maiden Hualing solve it herself. Even if they couldn't defeat him, why would a group of cultivators attack a mortal like him? However, if Fuqian went to the Drunken Immortal's tower to accept the test, he would meet cultivators sooner or later. Letting him go out and take a look first was also beneficial to him. Then Xiao Changtian said to Fuqian, "Fuqian, don't act rashly. Fuqian could just watch the fight between these cultivators. If he fought them without caring about his life, wouldn't he be sending his head to the ground? At this moment, arrows descended from the sky outside the Li Fire sect's carriage. Huoling looked at the arrows coming from the sky, and the fiery red true essence in her hands slowly condensed. Then it formed a wall of fire in front of him. The wall of fire formed and blocked all the arrows that came at him. Raindrop Pavilion. Looking at the arrows on the ground in front of her, Huoling slowly said a name. The Raindrop Pavilion had always been enemies with their Li Fire sect. He didn't expect that they would actually come here today to intercept him. Then a clear voice was heard. Holy Maiden Ling, I heard that your sect has found a hot shot, so the Pavilion of Raindrops specially came to congratulate you. Are you satisfied with this gift? As soon as he finished speaking, a man in green clothes and a bamboo hat slowly appeared in front of Huoling and the others. Seeing this man, Huoling slowly said, Tina, I didn't expect you to come personally to give me a gift. Tingyan, the divine son Tingyu, was also a god on the same level as Huoling. Hearing Huoling words, Tingyan also replied with a smile. What? It seems that Holy Maiden Huoling doesn't welcome me very much. But it doesn't matter. Little brother beside you, you're the hot shot that the Li Fire sect found, right? Our Pavilion of Raindrops is a straightforward person. We can give you double the benefits the Li Fire sect has given you. As long as you come to our Raindrop Pavilion. At this moment, Tingyan looked at Fuqian, who was beside Huoling and said slowly to him. With his eyesight he could still tell that Fuqian was extraordinary. At this moment, Fuqian looked at Tingyan and said, You're disturbing my master. Tingyan was stunned when she heard Fuqian's words. Then Fuqian's voice continued. Also, you're too noisy. Go to hell. As soon as Fuqian finished speaking, Tingyan and the others saw a huge golden fist fly over. Bang! Wherever the golden fist passed, the people of the Pavilion of Raindrops all turned into a bloody mist. Huoling looked at the scene in front of her and was dumbfounded. Tingyan's strength was about the same as hers. She knew that they couldn't beat Fuqian. However, he did not expect to be punched into a bloody mist. Miss Huoling, let's continue our journey. Now, Fu Tian wanted to go to the Drunken Immortal as soon as possible to accept the test. All right. Huoling also got into the carriage after hearing what Fu Tian said. After getting on the carriage, Xiao Chang Tian asked them slowly. How is it? Did the enemy escape? They're all dead. Hearing Xiao Changtian's words, Fu Tian slowly responded. If they disturbed Xiao Changtian's advance, it would be a death sentence in Fu Tian's heart. Xiao Changtian looked at Huoling with envy when he heard Fu Tian's words. As expected of a sect with a divine lord, they were able to suppress and kill their enemies. Chapter 452 Chapter 452 I've never seen cultivators fight up close. 1. Chapter 452 I've never seen cultivators fight up close. 1. Degree. Divine World on the Li Fire sect's carriage. After hearing Fuqian's words, Xiao Changtian was now very assured of the Li Fire sect's strength. It seemed that the Li Fire sect was one of the top factions in the cultivation world. The enemy's sneak attack was nothing to fear in their eyes. This way, when Fuqian joined their sect in the future, his safety would be guaranteed. As Xiao Changtian thought this, the Li Fire sect's carriage slowly moved forward. After a short period of time, Xiao Changtian and the others slowly arrived at the area of the Drunken Immortal restaurant. As the carriage entered the area of the Drunken Immortal restaurant, a commotion could be heard from outside. Xiao Changtian lifted the curtain of the carriage and saw them on a street. At this moment, cultivators in gorgeous clothes were walking on the street. These cultivators all wore long sabers, sachets, jade pendants and other ornaments. This was a cultivator. Looking at their glamorous appearances, Xiao Changtian sighed in his heart. Then Huoling's voice was heard. Senior, the Drunken Immortal restaurant is just ahead. At this moment, Huoling sat beside Xiao Changtian and pulled open the curtains. He pointed at a tall building in front of them and said to Xiao Changtian. Xiao Changtian also looked in the direction Huoling was pointing. In Xiao Changtian's eyes, a tall building stood at the end of the street. The top of a tall building reaching straight into the clouds, making it impossible for people to see the top clearly. Every floor of the pavilion was shining with five-colored light. Seeing this Drunken Immortal restaurant, Xiao Changtian nodded to Huoling. Needless to say, this tall building must be some kind of magic treasure of those cultivators. It was said that those who could use magic treasures to select disciples were generally large factions. One had to know that even the powerful Great Sun sect, where the Great Sun Immortal was from, did not use Dharma treasures to select disciples. The carriage slowly moved forward, and Xiao Changtian and the others arrived at a group of buildings. Looking at the surrounding buildings, Xiao Changtian said to Huoling Miss Huoling where are we going now? Huoling continued to explain after hearing Xiao Changtian's words. In her opinion, with Xiao Changtian's strength, he didn't care or remember these things. Therefore it was best for her to answer. Perhaps he could use this opportunity to close the relationship between the Li Fire sect and this senior. Therefore Huoling was very patient and meticulous when she introduced Xiao Changtian. Huoling pointed in the direction of the carriage and said in a sweet voice, "Senior, different forces have their own residences in the Drunken Immortal restaurant area. Over there is the Flying Elephant sect's residence, and over there is the Joyous Union Pavilion's residence." Huoling pointed at the surrounding pavilions. On those pavilions the names of their respective sects were written. Moreover, the deeper they went, the stronger those forces became. Xiao Changtian listened to Huoling's introduction and sighed in his heart. The Li Fire sect was really powerful. It was definitely the kind that was famous in the cultivation world. Otherwise, why would there be so many people participating in their Drunken Immortal restaurant's test? At this moment Huoling pointed at a stone door in front of them. "After passing through the stone door we will arrive at our residence." Xiao Changtian looked at the stone door in front of him and nodded slowly. Then Huoling pulled down the curtains again. After arriving here, most of the factions here recognized their Li Fire sect. Some were good friends of their Li Fire sect, while others were enemies of their Li Fire sect. Considering Xiao Changtian was in the carriage, Huoling did not want to cause any trouble. At the same time, two figures in green stood side by side on the stone door. "Eldest young master, the Li Fire sect's carriage is here. It looks like second young master has failed." The person who spoke was a cultivator from the Pavilion of Raindrops. A tall man stood in front of him. The man looked at the carriage Huoling and the others were in. His eyes flickered and no one knew what he was thinking. This man was none other than Ting Yen, the previous holy son of the Raindrop Pavilion. Originally, Ting Yen was the most powerful person in Tingyu to be the holy son. 3. It was just that after her younger brother became an adult, Ting Yen automatically gave up his position as the holy son. Behind the scenes, his younger brother Ting En would take over as the holy son of the Pavilion of Raindrops. "Give me my bow." Ting Yen looked at Huoling's carriage and said slowly to a servant beside him. According to his understanding of Ting En, it was considered a failure. He shouldn't have not returned at this time. There was only one possibility for her not to return now, and that was that Ting En had been killed. Needless to say, the murderer was the Holy Virgin of the Li Fire sect, Huoling. Bintianji Yen had doted on her younger brother since she was young, so when she saw Huoling's carriage return, she was shocked. How could he not be angry? After Ting Yen finished speaking, a disciple from the Pavilion of Raindrops quickly handed a jade-green longbow to Ting Yen. Timji Yen held the longbow in his hand and slowly pulled the bowstring with one hand. On his right palm, his true essence slowly condensed into an arrow made of raindrops. Drip, 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 drip. The sound of water dripping could be heard from the arrow. Whoosh. Then with a whoosh he flew away. The long arrow pierced through the air, and the carriage that Huoling and the others were in seemed to have sensed something. The horse came to a sudden halt, and with a bang, a stone pit appeared in front of the carriage. It was where the arrow landed. As the carriage came to a sudden stop, Xiao Changtian, who was sitting in the carriage, also felt a tremor. He hurriedly grabbed the armrest of the carriage. What's going on? Could it be another sneak attack? Xiao Changtian sat down again and thought to himself. It seemed that there were really many people who had designs on the Li Fire sect. But thinking about it, it was understandable. The Li Fire sect was so powerful that it was understandable that someone wanted to cut off his flesh. Huoling, who was beside Xiao Changtian, was a little angry. This was the second time they had been attacked today. If it was any other day it would be fine, but today there was a powerful senior sitting in the carriage. Their Li Fire sect had been attacked repeatedly. Didn't this leave a bad impression on Senior? How was he going to build a good relationship with Senior after this? Huoling said to Xiao Changtian slowly. Senior, please wait on the carriage for a moment. I'll go down and settle this right away." Xiao Changtian saw Huoling get off the carriage and said to Fu Tian. "Fu Tian, let's go down and take a look." Previously, Xiao Changtian did not get off the carriage because he wanted to see just how strong the Li Fire sect was. After the last time he had killed the enemy, Xiao Changtian had full confidence in the Li Fire sect. There shouldn't be any danger if he followed. Moreover, he had been in the cultivation world for so many years, but he had never seen cultivators fight up close. Chapter 453 Chapter 453, The Senior Hidden in the Dark, 1. Chapter 453, The Senior Hidden in the Dark, 1. Divine Realm, Drunken Immortal Restaurant District. Hualing slowly walked down from the carriage and saw the stone pit in front of the carriage. He looked around and his gaze landed on the stone door. Ting Yan. Hualing looked at the man above the stone door and met his gaze. Her jade-like hands were clenched tightly. On the stone door, Ting Yan held his longbow and aimed it at Hualing. He slowly said to her, "Hualing, where's my brother?" As he spoke, an arrow appeared on the longbow containing endless power. At this moment, Hualing was surrounded by a group of cultivators. Whether it was mortals or immortal cultivators, they were not surprised by the liveliness. Everyone loved to watch. Look, this seems to be the Li Fire sect's Hualing. Above her is the Raindrop Pavilion's Ting Yan. It seems like enemies are jealous when they meet and are about to fight. It's said that the Li Fire sect has found a hot shot. And the Raindrop Pavilion hasn't been found yet. From the looks of it, they're probably going to snatch the Li Fire sect's hot shot. Yes. Hualing looked at the longbow in Ting Yan's hand as she heard the chattering around her. It was also because she clenched her hands tightly. Her strength was indeed inferior to Ting Yan's. If they fought, she would definitely lose. However, there was a powerful senior sitting in the carriage. As she thought about this in her heart, Hualing also slowly transmitted her voice to Ting Yan. Ting Yan, let's settle this later. Today there's a powerful senior in my carriage. I advise you to stop. Hearing Hualing's voice transmission, Ting Yan, who was on top of the stone door, also laughed out loud. Hualing, when did you become so secretive? You even said that there was a senior in your carriage. You'd better save your breath on this kind of trick to scare children. Cut the crap. Where's my brother? Otherwise, I won't show any mercy with the arrow in my hand. When the surrounding cultivators heard Ting Yan's words, they began to discuss. What did Hualing say to Ting Yan? What senior? What the hell is she doing? If there really was a senior, would he not come out to suppress the situation at this time? Look, there really are people coming out of the carriage. Following this voice, everyone looked towards the Li Fire sect's carriage. On the Li Fire clan's carriage, Xiao Changtian and Fuqian were slowly walking to Hualing's side. Miss Hualing. After getting off the carriage, Xiao Changda walked toward Hualing. After all, this was a place where immortal cultivators stayed. He still had to stand beside the big shot. This was the safest way. Moreover, he had heard it just now. Those cultivators said that there was another senior on the carriage. It was likely that a senior of the Li Fire sect had secretly followed Hualing to protect their holy maiden. With that thought in mind, Xiao Changtian also pulled Fuqian to Hualing's side. This Fuqian was a little dumb. Why didn't he know to hug someone's thigh? After Xiao Changtian got off the carriage, Hualing said to him respectfully, "Senior." Xiao Changtian heard Hualing's words and smiled at her. Miss Hualing, you don't have to be so polite. Xiao Changtian knew why Hualing called him senior. It must be that when the immortal De Yang asked for the invitation card from them, he also introduced himself. Immortal Big Sun loved calligraphy, so it was normal for the people he befriended to love calligraphy. Hualing knew that his calligraphy was good, so it was normal for her to call him senior. However, Xiao Changtian was still not used to being called senior by Hualing in front of so many cultivators. When the surrounding cultivators heard Hualing call Xiao Changtian senior, they also said, "This is the senior of the Li Fire sect. He looks so young. But I don't see any aura on his body. He looks like a mortal. It can't be. Is there a need for Hualing to do this at a time like this? Wouldn't this cause the Li Fire sect's reputation to be ruined?" Fuqian stood beside Xiao Changtan, even though the cultivators were speaking softly. However, he still remembered who said what. Looking at those people, a cold light flashed in Fuqian's eyes. These people actually dared to slander his master. If there was a chance, he would definitely teach them a lesson. Yen, who was standing on top of the stone door, looked down at Xiao Changtian, who was beside Hualing. He squinted his eyes. He could sense that there was no aura on Xiao Changtian's body. Moreover, looking at his age, it was obvious that he was about the same age as her. How could such a person be a senior with profound strength in the Li Fire sect? Hualing was trying to intimidate him. Since I'll destroy your Li Fire sect's reputation today, then I'll go look for my brother. With this thought in mind, Ting Yin released the arrow in his hand. Whoosh! Just like before, the arrow shot towards Hualing and the others. Look, Ting Yin has made his move. Looking at the power of these arrows, Ting Yin should have used his full strength. Hualing and the others probably can't withstand it. While the surrounding cultivators were discussing, Hualing was also very angry. This Ting Yin was so reckless and dared to contradict this senior. Who knew what the consequences would be? Xiao Changtian looked at the arrow formed by the rain and sighed. The ability of this immortal cultivator was truly formidable. When could he be like these cultivators? Borrowing the power of nature, it could unleash powerful attacks. He didn't know how Hualing would react next. He should be using an awesome spirit skill. With that thought in mind, Xiao Changtian also looked at Hualing. Hualing felt Xiao Changtian's gaze on her, and she was nervous. What did Senior mean by that gaze? He would definitely not be able to block Ting Yan's full-powered arrow. Moreover, the senior was standing right beside him. If he attacked in front of him, wouldn't that be showing off his skills in front of an expert? For a moment, Hualing did not know what to do. At this moment, the arrow suddenly stopped in mid-air. He didn't move forward at all, as if he was frozen there. What happened? Everyone looked at each other, not knowing what had happened. Even Ting Yin himself looked at the arrow in the air with an incredulous expression. At this moment, on Xiao Changtian's shoulder, the two antennae of the chaos ant were swaying slowly. A silver light flashed. Bang, bang, bang. The chaos ant's antennae shook once again, and the arrow in the air turned into pieces and scattered. How is that possible? Seeing his arrow shatter without any warning, Ting Yin exclaimed. Xiao Changtian looked at the scene in the sky and admired Hualing. The Li Fire sect was indeed powerful. The experts hidden in the dark had not appeared at all. The enemy's attack was automatically neutralized. You're tuning in to the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.